So, Luis, tell me something about the making of this album and your intent and some of the ideas that you wanted to get across to people.
Well, the making of the album was simply the last couple records that I had done. I basically, played the majority of the instruments myself. So you're alone in your own home studio, and a few months go by, a year goes by, a couple of years go by. You have enough material, you do a record, and I did that for a while just out of necessity. And then things have been going, well in my career here, and so I was able to get a group of musicians together that were my closest friends. I mean, most of my career has been playing the bars in Los Angeles on the West Coast, and then some touring, in my younger day to the East, or one-offs to the East Coast, and then going to Europe for a few months at a time, things like that. But mostly the bars in Los Angeles. So over the years, I've met some great musicians that were my friends and had my back, and I've written, co-written with, you being one of them. And if not the one, over the last 5 years, we're here at Craig's studio, where we recorded, actually, the song Just Another Day and Move On for the record. And so my intent was I wanted to hang out with my buddies. And what better way to do that than to pick, have some new tunes and just have a performance-based record. So the intention at first was just to do a live record. And so I knew the musicians that I wanted to use, and they were all my friends, and had always been very encouraging and had my back over the years as I've been growing up as a musician and such. And I just wanted to get them together, and so we did that. And so the majority of the record was recorded in one day. It was August 22nd, 2012, at my good friend Andrew Jaimez's studio, The Compound in East LA. And we got together, and in 13 hours we put down the majority of the whole record.
That was an extremely organic procedure, as I recall, and recording with those guys live on that hot summer day, and there was a certain magic in the air that day. And what are your personal recollections of that recording process?
The thing that was the best for me is my son was there, and he experienced the whole. He's almost 16, so he's 15 at the time. So he got to sit there, and I'm the difference between this record and all the other records is that I have to do this now. When I read a lyric chart, in the old days I could just look down and read lyrics and sing a song, and now I have to do this and have it right in front of me. So that's the biggest difference. So I'm older and I'm wiser, and so we did a lot of preparation. So being prepared, not rehearsed, but prepared for the record, and as far as the arrangement goes. And I had some guideline charts, no one was reading it down. But the main thing that I felt good about myself is as a producer, I handpicked the guys that I wanted to be in the room with, and knowing that it would work. In some cases, you, Craig, right? You met P-Bass for the first time that night. You'd played with, and Andrew, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
So you and I had played together for years and recorded. It's even more intimate, and you just met those two guys, the rhythm section, that day, and it all worked. It all fell into place. It was very clear it was happening. So I felt good as a producer that day.
I recall that there was just a lot of musicianship in the room, a lot of people that were listening very carefully, and I really think that made the difference. Personally for me, just being in with live players, especially a live drummer, because so much of my work is done with post and false drums, so that was a real pleasure for me. P-Bass, Patrice, he was an exceptionally great musician, an unbelievably good drummer. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Andrew and Bass have been playing together, whether it was with... Bass and I didn't play together that much because we were both bass players, so I had to learn a new instrument and start playing guitar, so I could play with the guy. But Drew and Bass had been playing, again, a lot of bars over the years. And the thing about the bars is, as much as sometimes it can be grueling, 4 hours, 5 hours of sets, you play a lot, you do 4 or 5 one-nighters, you get strong, and so Drew and P-Bass, not only are they really funky and very musical musicians, great musicality, they're powerful musicians, they bring it, everything will rise, because of the power that they brought, and it worked, yeah.